that could have been bad. Privyet, как дела? We're back again with another—
Enough with that Russian bullshit. I want to hear everything you're saying.
I'm not speaking Russian.
Don't play with me, boy.
Oh yeah, that is Russian. This Saturday is the first UFC event ever to be in Russia. Moscow, Russia. High five, Vladimir Putin. Thanks for letting it happen. But the thing that grinds my gears, it gives my mind more problems than the tooth decay inside Hector's mouth. One too far?
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can beat me later. First of all, the biggest fight that's ever going to happen in UFC history, coming up actually in a couple weeks' time, we'll talk about it. Then, if Hector doesn't skin me alive by then, is between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. It's Khabib time!
No, it's not.
Yes, it is!
Nope.
Yes, it is!
Nuh-uh.
Fine! God.
Oh, you better put that chain around your motherfucking neck.
Fine. I don't get why you're not putting the first event in Russia to have this fight headlining it. Do you know how many good fighters come out of Russia? Fedor Emelianenko, Ali Bagatanov, Zabit Magomedsharipov, and Khabib Nurmagomedov. What the f***? Dana White, you're a really stupid jackass for not letting this happen in Russia. But we're gonna start right at the bottom. First of all, we got the return of Belarusian, which they also speak Russian. No, I'm dead serious, look it up. We got Andre the Pitbull Arlovsky going up against Shamil Abdurakimov. Now, I know what you're thinking, the Pitbull's gonna go to sleep. Whilst that may be true, I'll get to my prediction in just 1 minute if you just shut the f*** and let me continue talking.
What?
Not you! Andre Arlovsky is 2-1 in his last 3 fights, losing his last against New Zealand native Tai to motherfucking Vasa. And before that, he beat the likes of Stefan Struve and Junior Albany. Now, the fight against Tai Tuivasa was the biggest fucking beatdown going both ways between any two heavyweights in the fucking sport. It just shows that no matter what anybody says, Andre Arlovsky's jaw can still stand in there and bang with the best. Let's also note that Andre Arlovsky, although he might not be a top contender anymore in the UFC heavyweight division, he's still got that fucking knockout power and the most efficient boxing in the heavyweight division. His cardio never comes into question, as his last 4 fights, even the 2 losses that he succumbed, were both by unanimous decision, which means he can go 15 rounds without even a fucking question. He's been knocked out many times, but his last knockout was 5 fights ago against the one-punch knockout wonder Francis and fucking Ngannou. Now Shamil Abdurakimov is coming off a knockout win against Chase Sherman. Who the fuck is Chase Sherman? Nobody knows. But Shamil's proven to be a tough son of a bitch and can go the 15 rounds as well, as proven against Anthony Hamilton and Walt Harris. I see Andre Arlovsky doing what he usually doesn't like to do in his fight, which is take his time in this one. He doesn't want to lose another fight because then he's going all the way back down. When he says if he's serious about being a top contender in this division once again, and maybe fighting for a top title contendership, doubtful, then he needs to take his time with this fight and just wait for that opportunity to counter Shamil. If I have to put this pen to pad, Andre Arlovsky is going to take this fight via I don't know if Shamil's going to be able to keep up with the pace and the boxing technique of Andre Arlovsky. So Andre Arlovsky's got this via TKO in round 2. Next up, we got a light heavyweight clash between Nikita Krylov and Jan Blachowicz. This is a Russian native against a Polish Jan Blachowicz. They're both very much top contenders and just knocking on that title contendership bell and possibly successfully doing that with a win in this fight, whoever comes out on top. Nikita Krylov is an old UFC vet. His last fight was in the UFC 206, losing by guillotine choke to Misha Zurkinov, who obviously has proven himself to be a top contender in the light heavyweight division himself. Since then, he's coming off devastating knockout wins, and most recently over UFC vet Fabio Maldonado, and before that, previous light heavyweight Bellator champ Emmanuel fucking Newton. But Jan Blachowicz has his fair share of experience against top contenders in the UFC light heavyweight division, with his recent win coming against Jimmy Manuwa, taking it by unanimous decision. Listen, let's calm the hell down with Jan Blachowicz, because I know he's 3-2 in his last 5 outings to college wrestling guru and all-state wrestling guru and Patrick Cummins, and against previous light heavyweight title contender Alexander Gustafsson. This fight could very well be the fight of the night and be 15 minutes of solid mixed martial arts action, figuring out who's got that better gas tank and who's got that durability to get that nod from every single one of those motherfucking judges. Having also said that, they could be trying to make a statement because these last decision wins is not really going to propel Dana White to say, you know what?
You need a title shot, my friend.
So Jan Blachowicz is going to be very aware of Nikita Krylov's reach and his knockout ability. So I think the key to victory for Jan is to really press him against the cage, take away those long weapons in Nikita's arsenal, and try to take this to the ground. When you take it to the ground, though, be careful for Nikita Krylov because that dude, he's got some long limbs and he's got a very intense submission game. Although Jan Blachowicz is also not unfamiliar with that jiu-jitsu game as well. It's not uncharted territory for him. He pulled a standing fucking bulldog choke against Devin Clark. Who is he? No idea. Jan Blachowicz is gonna take this to decision. Jan, he's the man. If he can't do it, nobody can.
Stick to the script, boy.
I can't have fun around here?
No, you absolutely cannot.
Come on! Ah! Idiot.
What the f did you just say to me?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I said I'm getting into it. Dudak. For all my Russian fans at home, Dudak. On to the very, very final fight. The main event of the evening. I sound like a macho man. Oh yeah, brother. We have Aleksei Oleinik. Holy shit, these names are hard. Against the Samoan. He is back. Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt is used to being set up against other fighters other than Brock Lesnar that are also knockout artists. So it's one of those, whoever's going to land that first punch is probably going to sleep. That is not the case against Aleksei, who is a very much a submission guru. If any of you don't know Aleksei Oleinik, well, obviously I kind of am having a hard time with his pronunciation, but if any of you guys don't know who this guy is, mark my words, he is very much a vet of the game. This dude has 68 fights, but he is currently only on a 1-fight winning streak, where his last loss was coming against Curtis Blades from via TKO stoppage. And before that, a beautiful submission against the most, I was gonna say the most feared heavyweight of all time in Travis Browne, but everybody knows Travis Browne's a loser, living in Ronda Rousey's shadow. Back to the fight. Dear Aleksei, are you gonna feel confident coming in against Mark Hunt after your last victories against Junior Albany? Come on! Mark Hunt also is coming off a loss against the same person who Aleksei actually lost to in Curtis Blades. But the biggest difference is that Mark Hunt didn't get knocked out. It was very much a back and forth fight. And before that, he knocked out, which is one of the most feared strikers actually in the heavyweight division currently, in Derek Lewis. He's got a lot of problems with the UFC as well. He had a lawsuit in progress back in the day for UFC 200's loss against Brock Lesnar, which was later overturned because Brock Lesnar tested positive for fucking steroids. Obviously! What kind of idiot wouldn't see that coming? The crazy thing about Mark Hunt, he can wear that spare tire all he wants, but he still can go and swing for the 15 rounds as well. But I think Aleksei, with his grappling ability and the experience that he does have, he's gonna take it to Mark Hunt. I just don't think Mark Hunt's tricks are gonna work anymore, where he tries to throw that walk-off knockout. Aleksei is too sophisticated, he's too well-rounded, and he can fight standing on his back, on top of you, against the cage, which is something Mark Hunt can't do. Aleksei should be weary of Mark Hunt's strengths, and don't give him the opportunity to use them, and I think that's what's gonna happen here. Can I wear my wig for the closing?
If it'll calm you down.
For real?
Fine.
Thanks, man. Did we just become best friends?
Not a chance.
Oh.
And just because you have that wig doesn't mean it's Khabib time.
No, I know. You made it clear that it's not Khabib time. But it is.
Huh?
No, I get it. No, it's absolutely not Khabib time. It is. It's Khabib time.
Say it again.
No, I'm fully aware.
I'm gonna let the professor out for a tickle.
Yeah, go to the washroom. We're gonna be fine.
Wrap this up or you're dead.
Okay, yeah, we're cool. It's so fucking Khabib time. Fuck you, Hector. I own this shit.